125. Okay. Sync all three of them up.
Alright, welcome back to another episode of podcast.
Welcome to the first episode of the Rosas podcast. It's probably the first thing people are going to notice is that this is another episode 1. But we're restarting because we're going to be putting these on Spotify now. So this will be the first official episode that's on there. It's not on Spotify yet, I don't think. But,
I don't know what camera I'm supposed to look at now, so now I'm confused.
Just look at that one and that'll be just an extra one. We got angles now. We're using Katie's stupid fish islands one for a second camera.
Look, okay.
It gives us dimension.
Just
if you listen to this audibly, you know what we're talking about. But I just realized that's gonna be the worst part now. Is all the physical movements. All of our really. all the physical gestures is what I meant. Like all of our physical movements will not be recorded if you listen to this podcast audibly on Spotify.
Yeah, they're not gonna know what we're talking about now.
I know that's gonna be weird because now we're gonna have to make sure that we
have to describe things.
Yeah.
I have to use my adjectives.
I don't even know what an adjective is.
It's the first episode of the podcast.
We're gonna be now with topics.
It's the podcast new with topics.
We don't just ramble about what our favorite dragons are like we did last time. First episode. Topic today is going to be Attack on Titan. We kind of bounced some other ideas and stuff as what we're gonna do. We thought about doing Evangelion, but we decided that Attack on Titan would be fitting because we didn't really give much of an outro the last episode anyways. So I feel like this would be a good ending part 1 of season 4, going into part 2, our thoughts on the series and stuff so far. I think that'll be a good start to the podcast because Attack on Titan is really what launched the channel anyways. So
yeah,
I feel like it's fitting
why not
that the first
stick
episode
with the
should be
theme? I guess we should just give our final thoughts on what we've seen so far in season 4.
Right.
And then maybe just go from there.
Here's one initial thought that I want to say because I've said this a lot through it, probably oversaid it throughout season 4. But the one thing that I kind of want to, it's like Gabby is such a controversial character, but I don't understand it because Eren was the same way. If we put up with Eren and we were accepting Eren for 3 seasons of his whole I'm gonna kill all the Titans, I'm gonna kill them. We can't. And it's we're gonna turn around and be like, oh, Gabby's so horrible because she killed Sasha. But the whole time Eren was the exact same way. So it's just weird to me.
I guess the thing is that Eren was that way towards the Titans, which at the time we were
Gabby
looking at as the bad guys.
Yeah, no,
Gabby
not
was that way, but she killed a character that a lot of people love. She killed a fan favorite.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I understand it, but I'm talking about in retrospect, looking back.
Yeah.
I get it at that point. It's Eren was just kind of not the best character.
I also feel like my problem with Gabby is that through all of the little antics and all that, and her oh, I have to kill these people and kill is it the Eldians that she's after, the devils? She's just dragging Falco along and getting him in trouble. So it's
yeah, but Falco's doing that to himself,
things
really.
Aren't really working out. No.
She's not making Falco stick around. Falco's doing it for her, which is one of the reasons why I like Falco.
I know, but she should just calm down. She just needs to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, but I feel like
I've said the same things about Eren, too, at the beginning, is he just needs to calm down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I feel like they're doing more with Gabby in the first part of this season than they did with Eren for 3 seasons, seem like. In terms of character, I get, it's what they're doing with her, being in this place where she is all of a sudden just torn between who she's supposed to be helping, and we saw that a lot in the last episode with when Peak, revealed herself, whatever, the mind...
The Uno reverse card.
Yeah, at the end of it, and you can tell it's this is just all really confusing to her.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't know, to me it seems like the first part of season 4, they're doing a lot more with Gabby than they did with Eren for a lot of it. I think they gave Karen they gave Eren a lot of threater in season 4 or season 3 onwards. But they didn't really do much the whole first season. A lot of the second season.
His character development was through the first season he was really intense on I'm gonna kill all the Titans, I'm gonna be this hero, and then he got really depressed. And he was just he was so whiny, man. I couldn't do it. He was just whenever he was it's my fault that my friends are here, it's my fault that we're losing, it's because of me that we're this and this and this, and he got real down and depressed for a little while, and then he snapped back out of it and was alright, we're gonna fight the Titans again. But this time he was he was just better. He went into it more maturely instead of just this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess I can see it. No, I guess I can see it.
They built up his character slowly, but it was a gradual build. I
feel
like with Gabby, it was
a
few episodes of her just
Yeah, they're speedrunning Gabby's character right now.
Yeah, I can't keep up. I'm still stuck on the I don't like her.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't had time to warm up to her.
I guess I feel that. To me, it seems like we've had plenty of time to warm up there, more than most people, because
true.
we take these long gaps sometimes between episodes.
Yeah.
And because of that, I don't know. I think because whenever we first started reacting to the show, that was the one thing that was spoiled instantly was Gabby kills Sasha. That was the first comment we started seeing. Before, I didn't have moderators, so I had to go through and start deleting those comments. So I got spoiled on a lot of stuff that happened, like the rumbling and Aaron being the villain. You know, it's like this is all stuff that I got spoiled on like very early on. So I think going in expecting Gabby, when they introduce her, she's going to be, you know, the way she's going to kill. Like, I don't know. I think I had my expectation like
that she's gonna be like this little monster.
Yeah, exactly. Which she really wasn't. Like, I guess I can understand why people see her like that, but I don't know. To me, it's like I don't really see it like that. I see her as like, I think they've done a lot with all the characters, and I don't understand. I hate it when people just like, she's so horrible. She's getting Falco dragged in. It's like she's not. Dude, Falco did it to himself. Falco's the one following her around, so it's like she didn't ask Falco to be there.
True. But still, I feel like if she knows that Falco's there, she should tone it down a little bit so she doesn't hurt him.
I guess so, yeah. Maybe. She was the one that hit him over the head with the wine bottle.
Very true.
Kind
of like if I know that you're following me around, I'm not going to walk through any like low doorways or anything because I know you're going to hit your head on that. So being respectful, I would like go around it or find another way. You know what I mean? It's that same... I don't know where I'm going.
He lost me.
It's kind of the same thing, though. Like, if you know that somebody is behind you, you're not going to do stuff to, like, put them in danger, you know?
Right.
And I feel like she put him in danger a lot, being reckless. She should have been more careful if she knew that Falco was there.
Maybe, but she's also a kid. So
okay, true.
That's
it's easy looking in on this and being like, oh, well, I would do it this way.
That's my favorite thing, is that, first off, I think that a lot of people, for the first 3 seasons, it's like we only got half the story. We were hearing, like, the one perspective on it. Season 4 did a great job showing us the other side of it. But you can't forget the other 3 seasons. That's why, like, a lot of people were talking about, like, Grisha and Dinah, how horrible they were, like, how bad of a parents like that. But it's like, don't forget, like, what we saw the first 3 seasons and understanding why Grisha was doing this. And you know what I mean? It's like, it's been a while, so a lot of it I'm kind of blurry on, even if I saw it twice. Some of it my memory's missing puzzle pieces. But it's like, you can't forget a lot of things. Like Grisha and Dinah were young, you know, it's like they were dedicated to what they were doing, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, even though they were like bad parents, they were devoted to what they were doing, and they didn't see what they were doing, the trauma they were doing. They were young, you know, it's like they had a cause. And
yeah,
I don't know, it's like, I feel like there's a lot of people that were just kind of like taking like what we were getting in season 4 and being like, oh, look at that, like look how horrible Dinah and
Grisha were this entire time. That we also got in seasons 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and I understand like they weren't good parents.
I mean, yeah.
But it's like, you know, they were young and they were really devoted to this, and they thought that they were doing the right thing, but they weren't. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of people that there's 2 sides to the story.
Yeah.
And it feels
and
like
I feel like at this point
double down on the stuff we learned in season 4.
There's so many sides, and it's like we learned, 1, 2, and 3, and now in season 4 we're kind of getting like, like you said, like the other side. Mm-hmm. And so it's really hard for me to kind of keep up, because I'm the person where as soon as they show me something in season 4, I'm like, oh, that's the bad guy. Like, my mind's made up. But, you do forget about what's happened in the previous seasons. Because my mind is so, like, it doesn't, I don't know. My mind doesn't work that way. Like, once you tell me something, I'm stuck on it.
We got 3 seasons of thinking Reiner, well, I guess 2 seasons, technically, season 2 and season 3. I'm thinking, like, Reiner and Berthold, they were all the villains. Mm-hmm. Then also in season 4, like, oh, Reiner's a good guy. It's like, wait, did we just forget, like, everything we saw? Did we forget that he busted through the wall and killed Aaron's mom?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't kill Aaron's mom, but...
I mean, he assisted.
He got the assist points.
Assist points.
But it's like, I don't know, it's just funny. It's like a lot of like what's happening in season 4 made a lot of people seem like forget all the build up we've had to the 3 seasons, because this is the real story. But it's like, maybe so. I feel like the first 3 seasons were set up, really, which is how any show is, I guess.
I think this isn't going to end with this is the real story and this is the real, like, protagonist, antagonist, you know what I mean? I think it's just going to kind of end on you make up your mind, like, what side are you on? Yeah,
there's so many people that have been messaging me and saying, like, oh, I guess the manga ended and it's really disappointing. You guys are going to be so disappointed with the ending. Here's my thoughts on it. There was nothing that the series could have done to end and satisfy everybody, because it had such big expectations that there was nothing that he could have done to end it off perfectly. But also, in my mind, this isn't like a Game of Thrones thing. He deserves to end it the way that he wanted to end it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So, which is how every writer is, but it's like in this case, I fully believe it that he had every right to end it the exact way that he wanted to.
Yeah.
Whether it disappointed some people, whether it wasn't what people wanted, whether it was horrible, whether it was great, whether he killed everybody or let everyone live and have their happy ending. It's like he deserved to end it the way that he wanted to. So
exactly.
that's my thoughts on it.
Exactly.
I don't care how it ended, even if I hate it. I watch it and be like, oh, that's stupid. I don't like it, but I respect it.
But I'm still going to, like it.
Yeah, exactly.
I might not like it, but I'm still going to support it.
Yeah, that's it. It's like maybe if I don't like the ending, I'm still going to support his
because the rest of the show
decisions.
is still good, and I mean,
yeah,
he can do whatever he wants. He's the one writing it. Write your own anime.
From day one, he's been writing it, planning it, and now all of a sudden we're gonna be like, oh, wow, I can't believe he ended it like that. I don't agree with that. It's like we might not agree with it, but you should at least respect it.
Yeah.
He ended it. I say that now. I'm sure when actually we watch the anime, I'm gonna be like,
the podcast
wow.
after the ending is gonna be like, no, this sucked. This whole journey was
this
worth
whole
nothing.
show led to this. I am interested to see where it all leads up to, though. I'm assuming it's leading up to the rumbling, which is going to happen at some point.
Yeah,
because I've been hearing about that
since
we started. Yeah, since we started the reaction, like I've been hearing stuff about the rumbling, but isn't it they're using that as like a tool? I guess like this isn't going to be like the. I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes, but
yeah.
Other than that, I really don't have much else to say about season 4 because I felt like that was the one thing I want to talk about was that they were talking about at the end of the episode the Titans were starting to move.
Yeah, they did say that, and I think that indicated the Titans in the walls.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to be like I don't see the whole season being the rumbling.
Also, I'm very disappointed at us for missing Porco in.
I know he was literally right there.
He was right in front of our face, and
yeah.
we never even like.
Well, it's different.
I think that it's hard for me to like. It's hard to remember all their faces sometimes, and it's like sometimes they'll show somebody, and then they'll show.
Well, it's not that. It's just I wasn't
just...
expecting to see him, so
yeah.
it's like my mind wasn't there, and I know a lot of people were like, "How did they miss him? I saw him first time." It's like sure, probably, but it's like I don't know. We're both slow, so
yeah.
It's like we're watching it, we weren't expecting
it.
it.
We didn't know he was going to be there, and so it.
Yeah, and that's funny that he was in there again.
Yeah.
Way earlier, and no one said anything about it then, which is kind of funny. It's like, oh, he was right there, like the whole time. He's been here,
like,
and we just completely missed him.
Around,
like Aaron at the beginning of season 4, he was like, he's been there, and we just like kept looking over him.
They changed his hair, remember?
Yeah, they did. They gave him
long hair. Don't say things when I say things. It's weird. Super twin powers.
But yeah, I don't know. I think season 4 is so far really good. And even if I disagree with the ending, season 4 part 1 was really good. Good enough that I don't see it going like this. It's all horrible. It's all ruined. It's like, no, the build up to the end has been really good. And even if I don't agree with the ending, the build up and the journey there.
I'm still going to watch the show again.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still going to watch it again.
Like, I'll rewatch it for sure.
Yeah, I might not have liked Evangelion's ending the first time I watched it, but I rewatched the show. That's a topic for another podcast.
Yeah, don't get me started on that one.
That was what the topic today was going to be on, but it kind of fitting that should be Attack on Titan.
Yeah, we felt like Attack on Titan was probably the best thing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Evangelion needs a little bit more time to say.
Yeah, I need more time with that one. I need to like.
It's a weird show. I liked it because it was weird, but it's not really weird.
It was a good show. No, I did like it. I liked the show.
Mm-hmm. It's got message.
It just got weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And a lot of Evangelion fans are just, which I feel the same way about a lot of Attack on Titan fans too, especially recently. Very pretentious. Is that the word? Where it's like, oh, it's the greatest anime ever made, and if you say anything bad about it, then you don't understand it, or you just don't understand. That's the big like meme behind it. It's like you don't understand Eva, and it's like, I really like.
Yeah, you're right. I don't understand it.
But I'm willing to admit that the show has its faults, like all the techno jargon that's thrown around throughout the entire series. I always get lost, and it's like how every plant has a 0.00001% chance of working, but it always works up until the very end. Like, there's some things I don't love about it, and I also think that the beginning of the show is kind of slow to me. Yeah, to me, it picks up and gets good at the very end.
Yeah.
Which is when it sets itself apart from the.
I think that I was expecting whenever they said that like, oh, it's gonna pick up towards the end. Like I was expecting like a big event to happen and like somebody people to start dying and like an Attack on Titan kind of thing, where it was just gonna all twist and flip.
Yeah, that's why I had
my expectations really, really, really high. Like,
there was a lot of people that were messaging you and me. We were like, oh, she better prepare for the ending. The last episodes are really big, and I had to like tell you, I'd be like, it's a gradual kind of thing. It's not
Yeah.
like an event happens and then the ending kicks off.
If you watch my Instagram stories, you'll notice that every single episode I'm like, okay, something's about to happen. Like, I can feel it. Like, it's been really slow and really calm for a while. Like, this next episode is the one. Someone's gonna die.
Yeah, it's not really it's
well,
not really one
ending.
particular like event, unless you count like the whole Toji thing. Whenever his Ava went rogue, I guess that was really like the kickoff point after that, and when Kaoru and stuff came into technically the last episode.
Yeah,
like the last
that would be
physical
the last
episode before it got weird the last two, but
Yeah.
that's my biggest. All right, we'll move off Ava, but that's my like biggest thing about it is that it's like the best episode in the series, in my opinion, happens episode 24, which is Kaoru, his introduction.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite episode, and all of a sudden it's like in one episode they introduce him, they kill him off, and then the next two episodes happen. So it makes you think that that episode's going to be the setup for the last
two episodes.
Yeah, and in
right?
a way it is, but it doesn't go the direction you think it's going to, so it makes the last two episodes disappointing. Even though rewatching it, I liked the last two episodes more than I did the first time I watched it, because I was expecting it, I guess, and I could like take it in more. But yeah, it just seems like that episode is like the setup for the big conclusion, which I guess the big conclusion is end of Ava, but yeah, anyways.
Okay, we said we weren't going to talk about Ava, and here we are.
I could talk about Ava all day. I have so many thoughts on it, but I don't know how to get back into
now
it.
Now I'm lost. What were we talking about before we got on Ava?
I don't know. Oh, just the fan base, I guess. I feel like in a lot of ways it's kind of. This is gonna sound really. This might sound kind of mean. I'm not meaning it to sound like this, but in a way it kind of ruined a lot of the experience I think I had with the show so far. It's like this experience of like, since we're reacting to it, so we're on a bigger platform. There's this thing about if you don't react to it the right way, then it's like, I don't know, it just seems like maybe it's because I'm the one that's keeping up with the comments and I'm the one that kind of deals with that directly, so it's like if we miss something, like all of a sudden it's like directed at me, like it's like, and that's kind of like, it makes me sometimes I just want to come home and it's like I just want to watch the show and kind of I don't want to feel
and
pressure
not feel that pressure to
kind
catch every little
thing.
it's
like sometimes it's like you get home from work, you're tired, we're supposed to now react to the show, but we can't really just relax and watch it a lot of times, it feels like, which is my biggest complaint, I guess, is that I can't just sit down and like watch a show, not feel pressured to try and like catch all the stuff.
Because we have to catch the stuff, because if we don't, then...
Yeah, we have to be up there with those reaction channels that pick it apart and analyze and are super caught up in the lore. I was at one point, at the end of when I first watched season 3, before I introduced you to the show, I was all caught up in the lore. I loved this, like I loved the history of the show, and I was watching all the explained stuff. But like any person, like even though I love Attack on Titan, your interest kind of shifts sometimes. It's like I got really into Evangelion and I started watching that show. So it's like, even though I love Attack on Titan, I still love it now, obviously. Your interest shifts, and sometimes I'm not like fully into Attack on Titan like I am right now. Like, you know what? It doesn't make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it does.
So sometimes it's hard to really like sit down and watch it and like get caught up and understand all the lore. Like the one episode where we forgot about the Marlians and Eldians and the history and stuff behind it, which I knew at one point, but I just flat out forgot. I don't know, because sometimes your interest shifts at some points. And it's hard to
there's a lot of pressure to do it just right, because everyone's wanting you to like catch things and react to things, and you know they want to see. Yeah. And sometimes you know. Sometimes
it's not everyone. It's it's 2% or it's 5% or it's like 6 people.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
it's a really
those
low
6
percent
people that
make the most noise.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it can be one person, but it's like that one you can have 99.
My Instagram messages are going off, and I'm getting all these like pictures of like what we missed and the spoilers, and you know.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
It's hard to try to like enjoy a show whenever somebody feels like they have to tell you what's going on. And
it's hard to enjoy a show whenever you feel like you're doing it wrong.
There are some people who will message me on Instagram and be like, "Hey, I noticed you were a little confused on this. Here's a little bit," and like they'll give me like the backstory on like, and that is so helpful. But then there are some people who are like, "Stupid bitch, here's what you missed," and then like they just spoil everything that's coming up.
Well, that's 99% of people are the helpful people. It's like, oh, hey, y'all missed Porco. Or like, oh, they missed Gillard, like when I was right here. It's like, oh, that's funny. But then there's some people that are like, how the fuck did you miss him? It's like, he was right there. It's clearly obvious, even to a blind person.
I caught him the first time I watched.
it was blindly obvious, even for a blind person. He was right there. But it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like you feel there's a lot of pressure.
It takes off the like relaxing feeling of like sitting back and like watching a show, you know, because you feel that, and it's like, even though to those like 5% people, like who cares what they think? Like, we're just gonna put out what we're gonna put out. Like, there's still that little bit in the back of your mind that's like, we have to get this right.
Yeah, exactly. But it's weird now too, because there's so many people like, just stay out of the comments so you don't get spoiled. but they follow you. Like, there's people messaging us on Instagram and so it's like you can't get on any social media platform for the next year. It's like, I love Attack on Titan, but it's not really worth like just completely blacking out everything.
I can't get off the grid for this
year.
show.
Yeah, man. I can't get off the grid for a year. For while we're watching it, absolutely, I can agree. I can stop reading comments for
I stayed off
months,
of. I tried to stay off all of my social media.
I want to know what people think of our videos. You know, it's like I want to know if we missed something. So it's really hard to just break away from it completely. You know. Okay, back. Sorry, we had issues with the audio. We're back now.
We're back.
It just said corrupted or whatever on there, and I'm like, crap.
So we had to, lost the audio. Save everything to make sure nothing like went away.
Yeah, we're back. We're back though. It's all good. I forgot where we left off though.
We're talking about Attack on Titan fan base.
But I also think that the only reason it's just because it's really popular right now. So it's like, obviously, it's got a lot of attention. There's a lot of, and I can't stand people that just talk about how, there's a lot of people also just talk about how toxic the Attack on Titan fan base is. There's a toxic part of every fan base.
Every fan base has
It's just, people. The more popular it is, the more people are in that that part of the fan base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's just crappy people, okay?
It has nothing to do with the fan base. There's just mean people sometimes.
People are just crappy.
That just try and spoil you for the reason that they just like to spoil you.
Yeah. Stupid, crappy people.
It has nothing to do with the fan base. The fan base is great, and 99%. I mean, our fan base is great, but every once in a while, there's a couple people in there that they just want to watch the world burn. They want to spoil you for the show.
That was my Dexcom.
Is your blood sugar dropping?
No, I think I'm out of range. It's in. I think I'm further than 20
Do you feel fine right now, or do you feel like
I feel okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't feel like I'm gonna die.
Do you feel like I don't know how diabetes works. If you feel like you're gonna die? If you don't feel like you're gonna die, we can continue. But if you feel like you're gonna pass out, then you should go do something.
No, I'll let you know if I'm gonna pass out.
I'll just one random.
All right, we're gonna brief intermission.
I didn't click anything, did I?
Everything looks like it's still running. That was. I think in the 14 years I've been a diabetic. I think I've only almost died twice, and it was literally like on a Monday, and then it was the Tuesday after. Happened like back to back.
On a Monday and then on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it was just like the most. I don't know. I didn't even call into work. I definitely should have, because I was not okay to drive.
We lost a lot of the momentum.
I know. I don't really know what to say now. I feel like we're just kind of out of like.
I wrote something down because I've been reading the manga. I kind of stopped up to where we got to season 4, and at this point, I'm kind of considering just reading through because I'm kind of curious to just read it and then be able to walk through, like have knowledge of it, like going season 4.
Then we can have the reaction of like a manga reader and then somebody who knows nothing.
Manga. That's a manga. I don't know.
Manga.
I always said manga.
It's not
just
manga.
You said like with an O. Manga.
Manga.
Manga. Like as a manga reader. That's what, like I've considered it, but there's part of me that's like, no, I should watch it blind because I want to wait for the anime. The other part of me is like, no, I kind of want to read it and then have like that reaction because there's a lot of stuff apparently that's being cut out of season 4. But there's so many people that I don't know that for a fact. And there's so many people that hammered at us as we were going like throughout season 1 and 2 and stuff. It's like, well, the anime or the manga is so much more detailed than his anime, but I've read the manga up till past season 3, and it's like there's some things in there that are great, but to me it's a good companion piece, but not a replacement. I don't understand all the people that have been talking about it's like, oh, you should have read the manga. The manga's so much better than the anime. Not in this case. It's not a replacement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the end of season 1 in the manga is just like it happens like that. It's just Armin and Mikasa tell Eren that he needs to pick a side. He needs to grow up hair and go kill Annie. Remember at the tunnel? They leave and then it claps on top of Eren. And the manga is just, they tell him to grow up hair and he's just like, okay. He comes out and beats Annie, like, and it all happens just in like a span of like 2 pages. The whole fight's over. It's like, I preferred the anime ending in that regard, like with it collapsing on him. Yeah, it's a lot of it's padded maybe and it's filler, but they add a lot of stuff even with John, like the whole scene of him running looking at the military police, that wasn't in the manga. He's like, man, I could have been up there. So there's stuff that's in the anime that's not in the manga that I liked a lot better. Like I like that scene in the anime a lot better. It's not so quick.
Yeah.
Maybe it's padded out, maybe it's filler, but it's enjoyable and it gives a lot of character and a lot of tension too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's things that are in the anime that I also liked as well.
I didn't read the anime.
You didn't read the anime? I don't know. That's just my opinion. I like the manga a lot, but I don't get the people that have said like you should read the manga or the anime because there are people that say
there are people. Yeah,
there are people.
I will agree.
I guess it's a pick or choose thing, but I just like the convenience of watching the anime, and I like the stuff they added in the anime. It was better, in my opinion. Maybe not better. Well, I don't know. It's a pick or choose. There's some things that's big in the manga, some things that are better in the anime. But
normally I'm always on team, like, books are normally better than the movies, you know?
Normally the books are better than the movies, yeah. And I agree with that in most cases, but
yeah.
I don't agree with it in this case.
Yeah. It's very rare that, like, a movie can compete
do
with
it justice.
the book.
Well, yeah, because a lot of times, like, movies are dealing with a runtime, you know? It's like, and they got a lot to cover in the book. Sometimes they do way too much, like Mrs. Peregrine's, where they just combine the first 3 books somehow and try to make that work.
If anybody has read the Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and then watched the movie, tell me how terrible that was.
I haven't watched the movie yet, but from what you told me, I don't understand why they would combine 3 books into one movie.
It was, it was. I don't even think I didn't finish the movie, so I really can't tell you like how bad it was. But like the first 40 minutes were ugh.
I mean, there's times when it's like you have to, for instance, like Lord of the Rings and stuff, where you have to like you have to try and make a book.
Things out
and they do a really good job at deciding what to leave out.
I think Lord of the Rings did a good job.
Yeah,
I think they kept in the important parts, cut out the parts that I mean, they cut out some parts that I would have liked to have seen, but
they did a good job.
They did a good job with what they had.
Yeah, and you can't every movie can be a 6-hour long.
I think the Hobbit shouldn't have been 3 movies.
No, the Hobbit should have been 2.
The Hobbit should have been at most 2.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think 2 parts would have been good for the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Because that way you're not stretching. I think Lord of the Rings had to be 1 book per movie. With The Hobbit, you could have stretched it into 2. Make sure you cover everything.
You definitely could have stretched it into 2 and covered everything.
The 3rd was just weird. I didn't love the Hobbit movies. I liked the first one. I didn't care for the second one, and I don't remember the 3rd one at all. Except that it was just felt like just one long fight scene.
It was literally just one long battle of 5 armies.
Did we already talk about what the 5 armies were?
Yeah, we did. Because I think our last podcast we talked about that. I feel like I just rewatched that podcast and we had the whole conversation.
Because it was like wolves were an army or something like that, weren't they?
Yeah, I think we Googled it. Anyways.
But yeah, but I also think that when you're adapting a book. What was that noise?
I don't know. Did that come from you?
It came from you. It sounded like.
I thought that was you.
When you're adapting a book, it sounded like you just made like you're breathing something through your teeth or something, like a little whistle.
No, that wasn't me.
Okay. When you're adapting a book, you're dealing with runtime, so you have to cut out a lot of stuff. When you're doing the manga, it's easier to do because they're literally following the manga, issue by issue, volume by volume.
I'm sorry, okay?
Why are you so close to the road?
Because that's just where my house is.
But a lot of people have all said that season 1 is, even though it's probably my least favorite season so far, season 1 apparently is gonna.
Are we back on Attack on Titan?
No, we're talking about Lord of the Rings. Season 1 of Lord of the Rings. What do you think I'm talking about when I say season 1? What are we talking about? We talked about The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
We talked about a lot of stuff, I feel like.
And nothing has seasons!
Evangelion. Oh, it's only 1 season.
No, it's 1 season. Season 1 of Evangelion is the best season. Fight me.
Change my mind.
Change my mind. Season 1 of Evangelion is the best season. Change my mind.
I mean, I liked the movie.
Did you really like the movie?
No.
I didn't think you did at all. I was like, you didn't like the movie. I liked the movie.
I'm just like creaking.
It's my back, probably.
You're old and creaking. I can't stop yawning.
I'm wearing an old man jacket too.
You really are. You look like Sherlock Holmes or something.
We stalled.
Once we stall, we just can't get the momentum back.
I know. Well, we're actually having a decent conversation, and then when you feel like you're forced to have a conversation, we have to talk about Attack on Titan. So it's like we pretty much talked about everything but Attack on Titan.
I feel like we've made like a circle around it.
We talked about Attack on Titan, Evangelion, Attack on Titan,
Lord
Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Attack on Titan, Mrs. Peregrine's Children for a second, Attack on Titan.
Food in Katie's teeth.
Food in Katie's teeth.
Problems with Katie's house. We're just picking on me.
You're easy to pick on.
You have an old man sweater.
You have food in your teeth. Also, what we're going to do after. Now, so Attack on Titan's done. Up until, part 1 is
We
done.
go into hibernation until Attack on Titan comes back.
Yeah, I'm close to it. We're still going to be doing podcasts regularly.
We're just going to nap.
We're going to continue our reactions to Death Note.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, we got to do a little recap. get caught back up on the show before we go back into it. So many people are like, there's a lot of comments where it's like, I can't believe they just abandoned Death Note. It's like, we literally had to. We had time to do basically one video a week, and that video had to be Attack on Titan. Like, there was no way. Yeah, we couldn't do it because at that point, that's where our audience comes from mostly, is from Attack on Titan. So it's like, if we stopped doing Attack on Titan, kept doing Death Note, it would be like complete anarchy. It would be hung up. I got death threats for a lot less. So I feel like at that point, red dots would start coming through my window. I'll start getting watched.
We have to move.
Have to move. I feel like this is going to be a short podcast, but I also feel like the momentum kind of stopped a little bit. So it's good to end on the upswing. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
But we can start getting better at it and making them longer. But for now, I think this is a good intro.
Intro to the podcast.
Mm-hmm. We got Death Note coming. We've got more podcasts. We have a video. I wanted to do it I kind of want to do some for the channel, talk about Ava, because we kind of did some on Instagram, and I think it'd be fun to do some for either my channel or your channel.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know what we're doing with that yet. So that's on the table. We also, because we made an agreement, like a little pact, where I was going to read the Mrs. Peregrine's Home from Killer Children books, and she was going to watch Evangelion. So I've almost finished the second book. But to be fair, I feel like reading the books was harder than watching the anime.
I mean...
In my defense, I don't read much. I'm slow. Although I read the first book in like 3 days, and I just got burnt out on the second. But
they're good books.
They're really good books, and I'm not much of a reader, but I did enjoy the books a lot. I think the name put me off.
Yeah.
Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
You're kind of like, that sounds...
Yeah, this sounds dumb. This sounds like a Katie book. I'm not reading this. But it should have been just named like Peculiar, or like...
Children.
The name makes sense, but it should just be called Children. The Invisible Boy. Which is like a minor character in the book. But it would make me want to read it.
The strong girl.
The Invisible Boy.
The girl who floats. The Invisible Boy.
But yeah, that's the little agreement we made. She reacted Evangelion, and I read the book series. So, and that's one of the topics for one of the podcasts will be the books. One will be Ava, and I feel like we'll talk about Ava a lot. I feel like that. I thought we were going to talk a lot about Attack on Titan, but we kind of zoned out a couple times.
Yeah, we're not good at staying on a topic.
No, we're really not.
Our ADD kicks in and we just...
Yeah, I think it's easier when you're having a conversation without all the cameras pointing at you and you feel like you have to talk. Because sometimes it's just like, we're talking about this, but then we run out of stuff to say, so it's just like, let's talk about this thing. So it just kind of go off. Because we have to make conversation.
What's your favorite dragon?
Org. Org from Dragon Tales. Okay, we're going to end off the first episode there. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Or listening.
We enjoy making these. Or listening to the podcast. That's right. You can listen to this podcast now, probably. Maybe not now, but eventually.
On Spotify.
Possibly.
For $12.99 a month.
I think it might go up on Spotify first. We'll have to see. But yeah, anyways. Audio podcast, physical stuff, whatever you're watching. It's cool.
We support you.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and see you.